Greetings, Humus Heritage family. Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the secrets of soil regeneration and natural farming. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to share with you a technique that completely transformed how I approach mineral nutrition in my garden. If you've ever felt frustrated waiting months for rock dust to break down, or wondered why your beautiful compost still isn't delivering the explosive growth you've dreamed of, then this video is going to change everything for you. I'm talking about combining rock dust with fermented plant juice to create an immediate bioavailable feast for your soil microbes and plants. So, grab your favorite garden beverage, settle in, and let's unlock the ancient power hiding in plain sight beneath our feet. Now, before anyone comes at me with pitchforks, let me be crystal clear. I love compost. I've made thousands of pounds of the stuff over the years, and it remains the backbone of any healthy garden ecosystem. But here's the uncomfortable truth that took me years to accept. Even the most beautiful, earthy-smelling, perfectly crumbly compost has limitations that can leave your soil gasping for specific nutrients over time. Traditional compost excels at building organic matter and feeding the biological community in your soil, but it's essentially recycling what was already in your garden system. If your soil started out depleted in key minerals like calcium, magnesium, potassium, or trace elements like boron and molybdenum, your compost won't magically create these elements out of thin air. This is the hidden trap of nutrient depletion that catches even experienced gardeners by surprise. Year after year, your plants pull minerals from the soil, and if you're only returning composted plant material, you're essentially moving deck chairs on the Titanic. The mineral bank account keeps getting smaller, and eventually, you start seeing the symptoms: weak stems, pale leaves, increased pest pressure, and disappointing harvests despite all your hard work. This is where the story gets exciting, because nature has already provided the solution in the form of pulverized stone and the microbial wizardry we can harness through fermentation. Rock dust is exactly what it sounds like: stone that's been ground into a fine powder, usually as a byproduct of quarrying operations. But don't let its humble origins fool you. This material is essentially condensed geological time, packed with dozens of minerals and trace elements that were present when the Earth's crust first formed. When you spread rock dust in your garden, you're doing what glaciers did during the ice ages, grinding mountains into mineral-rich silt that created some of the most fertile soils humanity has ever known. The challenge with rock dust has always been time. In nature, weathering rock into plant-available nutrients is measured in decades or even centuries, as rain, frost, and microbial acids slowly break down the crystalline structure. For most gardeners, this waiting period has made rock dust feel more like a philosophical investment than a practical solution. You can apply it to your beds at rates of about 1 to 2 pounds per 10 square feet, working it into the top few inches of soil, or you can incorporate it into your compost piles where the biological activity naturally accelerates the breakdown process. Some gardeners even make rock dust tea by letting it sit in water for several days before applying it as a liquid feed. But all these methods still require patience, and patience is exactly what we're about to eliminate from the equation. This is where fermented plant juice enters the stage like a superhero in overalls. FPJ is a concentrated liquid extract made by fermenting young, vigorous plant material with brown sugar or molasses, and it's absolutely teeming with beneficial microorganisms and plant-available nutrients. The beauty of FPJ lies in its simplicity and the incredible biological power it delivers. When you collect fast-growing shoots early in the morning, ideally from plants like comfrey, dandelion, or bamboo, you're harvesting material at peak vitality when cell division is most active and microbial populations on the leaf surfaces are thriving. You chop this material without washing it, because those microbes clinging to the leaves are exactly what we want to capture and multiply. Mix your chopped plant material with an equal weight of brown sugar, and something magical happens. The sugar draws out moisture from the plant cells through osmosis, creating a nutrient-dense liquid while simultaneously creating an environment where beneficial bacteria and yeasts flourish, but harmful pathogens cannot survive. After 5 to 10 days of fermentation in a covered jar, you'll have a sweet-smelling, amber-colored liquid concentrate that's essentially a microbial inoculant combined with readily available plant nutrients and organic acids. These organic acids are the key players in our rock dust activation story, because they can dissolve mineral structures that would otherwise remain locked up for months or years. Here's where everything comes together in a symphony of soil biology that would make any natural farmer weep with joy. When you combine rock dust with diluted FPJ, you're creating conditions where the microorganisms in the ferment immediately go to work on the mineral particles. The lactic acid bacteria and yeasts present in FPJ excrete organic acids as part of their normal metabolic processes, and these acids act like tiny keys unlocking the mineral treasure chests contained in each particle of rock dust. Instead of waiting for years of natural weathering, you're accelerating the process to a matter of days or weeks. The practical application is beautifully straightforward. You can mix your rock dust directly into compost and use diluted FPJ as your moisture source during the composting process, essentially charging your compost with both minerals and beneficial microbes simultaneously. Alternatively, you can create what I call activated rock dust by mixing the powder with diluted FPJ in a bucket, letting it sit for about a week while the microbes colonize the mineral particles, then applying this charged mixture directly to your garden beds. When applying FPJ, remember that this is concentrated biological power, so dilution is critical. A typical ratio is 1 tablespoon of FPJ per liter of water, which works out to about 1 part FPJ to 1,000 parts water. This diluted solution can be used as a soil drench, watering it directly around the root zones of your plants, or you can apply it to areas where you've already spread rock dust, essentially inoculating the minerals with the microbial workforce that will break them down. The results of this combined approach are nothing short of remarkable, and they manifest in ways that go far beyond simple plant size. Within weeks of beginning regular applications, you'll notice plants developing deeper, richer colors in their foliage, a sign that chlorophyll production is firing on all cylinders thanks to improved magnesium availability. Stems become noticeably thicker and more robust because adequate calcium and silica from the rock dust support strong cell wall development. Perhaps most exciting for food gardeners, the taste and nutritional density of your harvests improve dramatically. When plants have access to the full spectrum of minerals and trace elements, they can manufacture the complex compounds that give vegetables and fruits their characteristic flavors and health-promoting properties. You'll also observe increased resilience to pest pressure because healthy mineral-sufficient plants produce stronger defensive compounds and thicker cell walls that insects find less appealing. The extended harvest season is another gift of this approach, as plants with access to complete mineral nutrition can maintain productivity much longer into the season instead of burning out from nutrient deficiencies. What we're really talking about here extends far beyond personal garden success. This practice of remineralizing soil with rock dust and enhancing it with fermented amendments represents a fundamental shift away from extractive agriculture toward regenerative practices that actually build soil fertility over time. Every application of activated rock dust is an investment not just in this season's harvest, but in the long-term health and resilience of your garden ecosystem. You're reducing or eliminating dependence on synthetic fertilizers, which require enormous energy inputs to manufacture and often leave soils more depleted than they were before. This is sustainable living in action, taking waste products like rock dust and transforming them into fertility using the same biological processes that built the Earth's richest soils over millennia. So my challenge to you today is simple. Try this technique in just one bed or with a few container plants this season. Document what you observe. Experiment with different rock dust sources and FPJ recipes, and share your results in the comments below. If this video sparked your curiosity about soil biology and natural farming techniques, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our weekly deep dives into regenerative gardening. Share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to take their soil game to the next level. Together, we're building a community of growers who understand that healthy soil is the foundation of everything. Until next time, keep your hands dirty and your minerals bioavailable.